It terrifies them. They're going to incredible lengths. See, in an absolutely totalitarian system, everyone must be predictable. And this is taught in law enforcement.
So we must be unpredictable and unreasonable.
We have to think for ourselves.
Yes.
And that's the key, is thinking for ourselves. And you can't figure out what the world's all about until you start figuring out what you're all about.
Yes.
You see? Now that doesn't mean you sit and navel gaze and cross your legs and shout Om or whatever.
Right.
It's a matter of realizing that there's tremendous powers at play in this world. And no matter where you go with following the history and the way we're shepherded, so perfectly shepherded down through history by a small group of elite masterminds, you might say, you'll always come up against the perfect planning of a diabolical type mind. And unfortunately, in the language we're given, which again was created deliberately, it's minimalistic in its descriptive capacities, but you can't help but coming across something which is so intensely cunning and evil and just beyond the ordinary crook or even the super crook, because everything today is coming into place at the same time. That was all started a long time ago. Everything is falling into place and coming together. We can read about this with Blavatsky and the creation of Theosophy, which was intended to blend Christianity with Hinduism. And then they brought that out across the planet in an explosion with the Beatles when they went off to the Maharishi after they had gained their audience. Remember, they didn't start like that. First you got to grab the audience, and the people follow the stars, and once they were accepted and superstars, then they went off to India, and all their followers were suddenly delving into all these books on Hinduism. That was planned that way.
Okay, let me ask, oh gosh, these conversations we have sometimes, so many thoughts and questions just explode in my mind. Trying to keep it in order here. The reason that we have the religions, the reason they control education and entertainment is that they want to control our thoughts because they know absolutely how powerful our thoughts are. And they know how powerful our words are. And behind the thoughts and the words, what drives the force or the power of them are our emotions.
Yes.
Okay.
Emotions and experiences.
Exactly. So they want to control our thoughts, and you have 40,000 Judeo-Christians who are clamoring for, quote, Jesus to hurry up and come because he's going to take his seat in Israel. And this is God's plan. It's all God's plan. So that's how religion does it. And the emotions, the fear, the concern, when we start worrying and we start getting, oh, what am I going to do when this happens? I spoke with a friend today, an associate, let me say that. We had met at one time and we had had several conversations, and he was getting so frustrated with me because, you know, he was talking about, and we do know this, as self-sufficient as we can be, we must be. However, we can only do the best we can do, and if we sit around and worry about what's going to happen because we haven't done this or we haven't got that, the worry itself, the fear, is a negative energy that's being generated that they want us to generate.
This is obvious, and this is a strategy which has been used so many times before by the same people, and they've got the audacity to publish this in books. Such as Carroll Quigley, he published this strategy of terrorizing the general population so that when you went to war, you'd breathe a sigh of relief. And they scared the British people for years, telling them they were going to get gassed. And all the major cities in England, shoved off their children, millions of children off to Scotland and Wales and different places. So it split up the families. And Quigley, who was the historian for the CFR, he wasn't just a member of it.
Right, he was their historian.
He said that the Royal Institute of International Affairs, which is the British one of the same company, the same group, he said that the newspaper men had all met together in the Royal Institute of International Affairs and decided and planned this strategy to terrorize the public for 3 years.
To keep us afraid.
And then when they declared war, you see everybody almost breathed a sigh of relief that something was happening.
Something's being done.
And they gave gas masks to all the people. Everybody had to carry them. And it's the same stuff they're using now with the flu. Oh, the flu, they've been saying this for years now, and drumming, getting the drums going and terrorizing the public. And now they're announcing, it's definitely going to hit in this fall. They already admitted a few months ago it was going to hit here come about March or April.
Oh, yes, spring.
And now they're churning out these movies, these docudramas, using real members of the UN and their various teams in the WHO or doctors, as I call it. And so they're using actors and real people to make this seem so real to the public.
Yes.
And it goes through just like the disaster movies that we're all trained to watch. It's all done through fiction, then comes the reality. They start off with day 1 when the first report comes in, and day 2, then they'll show you what happens. Well, it's up to day 15, and my God, there's rioting and looting.
It's total chaos.
And this is all training the public in the same type of mass hysteria, so as you'll do what you're told like a robot and go along with whatever part.
Well, and Alan, the energy itself that is generated, this is the way I see it in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
These creatures have no emotion. Mm-hmm. The ones in control, they have no emotion. Mm-hmm. They have to have, an emotion is energy, and it is powerful, and they have to have it in order to move their plan forward.
Well, we do have...
so they generate the negative emotions.
They make us generate it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they promulgate the fear, the concern, the worry, the anger, the hatred, and people say, well, it's righteous anger, and whatever. I just know that when we get like that, we're doing and being and feeling the way they want us to. Absolutely,
and I tell you something too. When someone's furious or angry or afraid, they're missing so much around them. They don't see things, and that's why they're giving us all this incredible fear all the time.
Well, this guy that I was talking to today, he was almost not hysterical, but he was so intensively emotional about, Jesus, Jackie, don't you know what they're going to do? And do you know that they're going to nuke this country? I said, I believe that's what their plan is. I've said that before, that they're probably going to set a nuke off in he said, more than one city. I said, how do you know? But you see, I wasn't reacting or responding with enough emotion. And he said, you don't seem to get it. I said, yes, I do get it. I said, but what good is my sitting and worrying about something? He said, because then you can be prepared. I said, how do we prepare? We have to be self-sufficient. I said, well, do you have any suggestions for me? Well, you have to talk to people, and you have to do this, and, get a group of people together, and basically, he was frustrated with me, Alan.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm not going to live in fear, and I'm not going to live in worry, because I discovered a long time ago my worry changes nothing.
That's right.
And I will do the best that I can do, and there's where our faith comes in. And we are going to take a break here in about 40 seconds. Folks, Alan Watt's website is Cutting Through the Matrix. CHROUGH, cuttingthroughthematrix.com. And of course, sweetliberty.org is our website.